Christmas.
Christmas
Part
2016 Part 1.
Merry
this
Christmas.
is fun.
This is fun.
That of course is the tree that we decorated in the special.
Yeah.
This is a shot later, and just a little. This is shot by me. EJ, who is here on the commentary,
Hi.
was not actually at the shoot.
No, I was having a bebe.
So we can still make things look pretty when you're not here, just not as pretty.
I thought this actually could have looked better.
could've.
I don't think we knew how to make it better.
Well, for what we were very tired. This
was the last.
This was a much longer and harder day.
We had like cookies like going in the oven at this point.
So we of course did not light this blue. This is all post.
No, the tablet.
Yes.
The tablet is just throwing off this super blue light, and we didn't have enough light to counter.
No, but I timed everything to that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
That's weird.
You don't know what you said.
Okay, I don't.
What do you
care.
mean it's weird?
It's weird. The blue is strange.
Blue is going up to his face.
Well, sure, there was light from the thing.
But let's talk about. I mean, this was written by a lovely
Nina.
and talented Nina, who
Yeah.
did
That
a
was really good.
wonderful job on it. I love it. She actually wrote one more, didn't she? And we didn't use it.
Yes, I guess we could use it next year. It's basically like the story of the Major and the first Christmas story.
Yeah.
But using Max and stuff.
We should probably talk a little bit about the whole genesis of this special because
Yeah.
it's nothing like last year's, the one before.
Yeah, so the original thought was that we were going to do either another sitcom or what I was pretty intent on doing, which I also had wanted to do the previous year. So one of these years it's going to happen. I wanted to do I've always wanted to shoot in native black and white, like a native black and white narrative. And I was going to, there's an episode of The Twilight Zone where there's a Santa Claus who is an alcoholic. And then he ends up finding a sack that produces anything anyone wants. And it's sort of like it's like a twisted but uplifting episode of Twilight Zone. It's the Christmas special.
Yeah.
And it's like sad and bittersweet, but it's kind of nice. And I was like, I'm going to basically do that.
That sounds pretty fun, actually.
Yeah. And so I wanted to write it. And then I couldn't figure out how. And then I was like, yeah, I just finished this Halloween one. And I'm exhausted from it. And there was 1,000 things to edit at once, and I was like, I don't know. I don't think we can do another narrative.
Yeah.
Plus I was having a baby.
Oh yeah, right.
EJ wasn't around.
Yeah, so we can't do a full-fledged narrative if he's going to have a baby. So Nina was the one who said, well, what if you just did some segments, decorating the tree, maybe making some cookies, maybe something like that. And I was like, that's a good idea. I said, John, come up with some segments. And as usual, he goes, oh, what am I supposed to do? Come up with segments? And then he comes back, and he came up with a lot of them.
Yes.
And he produced a serious amount of content, which I'm very grateful for. But once we started shooting it, we realized this is going to be the longest Christmas special we've ever shot.
Yeah.
Because, of course, every one of them was like a 15-minute segment.
Yeah, my original thought was, this will be nice and easy. We'll just relax to these little segments.
Right.
We'll get it done. Little did I know. I mean, first of all, there were way too many. I made it
We actually cut one, which was decorating the tree we bought at Home Depot on Black Friday.
That's right.
In the house.
Yeah, we cut that completely.
Yeah.
Was that cut for time, or is there not good content?
There wasn't enough time in the day, as it turned out, because
It
everything.
probably also would have been a little redundant. With,
Yeah, because we already decorated one tree.
Yeah.
So, quick little side note. This was shot on Black Friday. This was shot in addition to all of the content you see in the Junt's cart on Black Friday.
Jeez.
That's why there's this Ninja Blender
Storyline.
still going through this. But and have you used the Ninja Blender since then?
Is it good?
But no one can see you nod, babe.
Well, if you could tell them that I.
She says
did.
yes.
Now, have you made all kinds of delicious drinks, Nino?
I did. I've made a lot of smoothies. I've never had a high-end blender before, so I would just put things in and it would just come out like choppy and crappy. But the Ninja Blender makes it all nice and smooth, and it's wonderful.
Sounds awesome.
We also ordered those BoxMac Pixel hats, which EJ did the pixel art for them.
Very cool.
like
I have mine. I like it a lot.
And we finally made a hat out of them, and we got them ordered for the Christmas special. Now it's sort of part of Zach's standard costume.
Oh yeah.
Well, if they were for the winter, it was.
Yeah. But even like non-Christmas episodes, you appear in that hat.
Yeah.
To vary it up a little bit. A few people bought them. I think they're cute. You can wear them backwards or forward.
Either direction.
But we recommend the pixel art in the front and the logo in the back.
That's my preferred way.
That's the preferred orientation.
So what ended up happening was we were like, okay, well, what we're gonna end up with is definitely enough for 2.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be 2 45-minute
Yeah.
episodes. And 2015 was 40 minutes. Like it was 20 minutes of it was the homemade Mac.
Yep.
And the first 20 was like Junt's cart plus the sitcom segments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which already felt massive.
Yeah, yeah.
Considering the Halloween ones are only 20 plus minutes.
Yeah.
So we were like, all right, we definitely have enough for 2. And then the editing was just relentless. I edited every single day for all of December.
I felt really bad, actually.
don't feel bad.
I felt like, because the whole idea, I mean, one of the tenets was this is supposed to be lighter, so
Yeah.
it just came off a really difficult holiday special, and it totally was not.
And plus, it's like once you're done with the holidays, you got to go right back into a normal weekly schedule.
and
So you have to have stuff banked too to keep moving. And we also release things on Tuesdays in addition to Sundays, so it's all madness.
Yeah.
It's totally. I remember you were really getting beat down by the editing, like every week.
It's the sort of thing. It's like maybe we should tone down our content, and then we never did.
Because we want to do things and then we do them. Do you remember the amount I had to edit during this? Were you like,
I didn't see you for an entire month.
well, no, we were in the office together. We stared at each other.
There were monitors in the way. I didn't see you.
Oh, see, just seeing us shopping for Christmas again makes me want Christmas a little bit. Because it was such fun.
I'm scared of Christmas because it makes me edit a lot.
Well, I mean, the interesting thing is, what are we going to do for this year? I mean, by the time
this year-
future humans are watching this, it's already come out, Frankie.
I remember there actually was another segment that was supposed to happen, which was Emily was going to send in video of the kids doing the I had a bad case of diarrhea.
That's right. Yeah, that didn't work out either.
But she did not because she, I don't know, felt that it wasn't funny enough or something. But we did get EJ's Christmas card. So you even get an embedded EJ review in one of these.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, is it?
That's in part 2, of course.
Yeah, it's in part 2. Yeah, because I was editing, even though I had a teaser right before I edited it, right before my kid was born, I sent it to you, and then afterwards I was in the hospital editing that.
Oh yeah. Oh, were you actually editing it while you were in the hospital?
I believe so. Yeah.
that's
So I was in the hospital and I care so much about Red Cow.
See, that's the dedication you get around here, folks.
I remember
We ain't
that
kidding.
the staff was getting a little uppity at us.
Yeah. Pier 1, we had to be careful.
Because first of all, it's a tiny store, and there's a heavy staff load.
And a lot of really pretty girls working there.
Yeah, and
that one
gay
gay
guy.
Yeah.
One kid.
And yeah, but I love Pier 1 Christmas. It's just the best. But
I wish
Frankie,
they could have known how much we were endorsing the show when we were shooting it. The store,
yeah,
rather.
your detection, your ability to detect the annoyance level of sales associates is pretty much spot on.
Yes.
Now. You've got it to a T.
You're pretty good at knowing when I'm noticing it.
Yeah.
Because in general, you're just meant to sort of exist and
Yeah.
and perform, and you're supposed to take cues from me about when we stand down. Mm-hmm. And we're pretty good at that. That's why. But the only thing is, I don't. That's why I kind of like shooting the Junt's cards because
Yeah.
I feel like I have a good handle on.
Yeah, on when we have the secondary line of communication going on.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And you haven't used the spy cam too much.
Yeah, so I think that in future carts that's going to get better
It's gonna
because
get
the video I think matches iPhone pretty much fine.
Yeah.
Especially when you fix the lens distortion that it creates. But you just have to have better audio.
Yeah.
And I did learn how to get rid of the timestamp that was stuck on it.
You did?
A fan put it in the comments, told me exactly how to do it, and it worked.
Wow.
There was some other flag that needed to be besides just the one.
But have we figured out the battery problem? That's the big thing that's...
It's
that's
strange, that battery. You charge it forever and then you start using it and it has problems. So yeah, I'm not quite sure on that one.
Yeah.
But it's our dream. We talked a little bit about maybe going to New York one day and going into the Nintendo store
Oh, I'd love to go to the Nintendo store.
/ other places.
Yep.
I don't know where else.
I don't
I think
know.
we talked about something.
Just keep going to the Nintendo store.
So I don't know if there's anything to add here other than what we.
I mean, it hasn't come up yet, but I was actually super disappointed about how this whole thing went down.
So what was the problem?
actually disappointed.
That's all within this episode.
That was one of the episodes.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, I really wanted to bake some really nice Christmas cookies, and they turned out kind of disastrously bad. And yeah, it made
comedic effect.
It made really funny content, and that's
Way
great.
funnier the way it is.
Yeah, but I was actually really disappointed in the outcome because I don't I don't claim to actually be any great chef, right?
Or baker.
But this it came out pretty incompetent. And
Well, also, you were sort of nostalgic for these cookies.
I was,
Yeah.
and I was so disappointed, really. But you know,
You would have been like cut first week from like any of the Food Network shows.
you're darn right,
For
I
these-
would have.
Like Duff Goldman would have been like, "This is crap."
Well,
And,
but
like,
thankfully the home style later on came out really good.
hey, I recognize that.
Yeah, I was just editing that the other day.
That was from the bad lip reading. I'm right there. I'm doing Hayden Christensen. Yeah. So we did not have EJ to man a camera,
No,
It's a little shaky.
and so we needed somebody else, and we got Angry Kirby.
yeah, God bless him for doing all that work because it was to put him on the spot.
Look, if he's listening, his number one problem is that he feels compelled to participate in the content too often, and that because what happens is he's like aiming the camera. And he starts thinking about what we're saying, and he wants to start talking, and his responsibilities to the camera just fall away.
Yeah.
yeah.
And,
Luckily, I'm autistic enough to just go, just focus on the camera.
I tried my best to cut around it. We didn't have a wide to go to here. So I'm doing a lot of 4K stuff.
It's very interesting. Non-traditional angle in the John's kitchen.
Yeah, opposite angle.
Done intentionally.
Yeah, very intense.
Because we were like, look, we're in the same kitchen as always, but this ain't no BoxMac.
Yeah.
Why don't we shoot it from the other angle, and it'll be kind of like...
A new thing.
I thought that was smart.
No, it works really well.
Oh, Nina was pregnant, and no one knew.
Yes,
I knew.
you knew.
I think I knew too,
remember
but I wasn't there.
Yeah.
She got like sick.
Right.
Yeah, and I kind of counted it up to like general woman unwellness, like general miscellaneous. John doesn't understand woman unwellness. It's fine.
In all fairness to John, I did have an episode of Vertigo shooting BoxMac where I had to lay on the floor and got dizzy and like vomited on the way home. So it's not like I'm always in perfect health.
That was episode, I can even tell you, that was like when we were shooting the Canadian ones.
Yeah.
And like,
There was a little bit of history there, and I'm like, all right, Nina just needs some time. She'll be okay.
look, not to be sexist, but it's not untrue that for some reason, like sometimes women just have episodes of weirdness.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I don't want to sound sexist, but I mean I'm a man in not particularly good health, and I've never had a problem like that.
Except I'm calling Frankie out because I know a lot of women who talk about their husbands, and mine is no exception, who always get like bad colds every year, and they're taken out for a week, and women just keep on trooping through their
It
colds.
is weird. Like women, I find don't have that same like,
Yeah.
oh, I got to stay out of work for 3 days thing.
You don't understand the man flu.
No, look, the sexes are different, I guess. But the fact
There was a scientific study done saying that like women produce different things to combat things like the flu and stuff that men don't do. So like not that it's an excuse for the man flu.
Yeah.
Oh, why not?
I need my excuses.
So, were you following a recipe here, or did you?
Yes, I was following what I thought was the one my mother used to do. It turned out to be, of course, completely not.
Oh.
But
So, I remember like by this was the first thing that we shot in the day.
yeah,
Because the Junt's car, of course, was shot like
a while before. Thank goodness.
Actually, it was shot 2 days prior.
Yeah.
Because we shot this Black Friday weekend.
Yep.
And you and I had an argument about that because you were like, "Oh, I don't want to shoot on Black Friday weekend," because our plan had been to go out and do a shopping segment.
Yeah.
And then we were like, "Well, why don't we just do it on Black Friday then?"
Yep.
And it'll get it out of the way.
Yeah.
And that sort of worked out.
It turned out to be perfectly fine. I was concerned that the crowds were going to be worse. They were fine.
Yeah.
They're really. I think Black Friday is a thing now that there's so many days around it. It's kind of like distributed to a bunch of days.
It's diluted.
Yeah.
I always do have a lot of fun shooting our Black Friday Junt's cars.
Oh, I really do too. I will have to figure out what we're going to do this year. It's a ways away now, but
Not pulling focus either, by the way.
yeah. Well,
I'm not saying much. I'm not gonna say anything.
I mean,
the point is, EJ, we miss you.
Oh, I'm back. I'm back in a big way.
Yes, you are.
it was a,
Two weeks after my kid was, I was back filming.
that was a reference to Mary Martin's Peter Pan, and I made a very obscure reference Bicarbonate of soda, no. I cut in the clip to explain it. But I will say, I heard Zach laughing in the other room, and I was like, Zach gets that reference. That's insane.
It's always good when Zach usually picks up the reference.
Yeah.
Zach's got a good reference depth indicator.
That or we have like similar pop culture like
Yeah.
perspectives or something. Exposure.
Yeah.
We of course repurposed the Christmas Red Cow shirts from Sam Brinkmeyer that he had designed the previous year.
That's my favorite of our shirts.
Is it really?
I love that shirt.
Like I'm like kind of sad.
I wanna wear it, but I can't because
Yeah.
it's inappropriate to not wear.
I would wear it to work, and it was like the perfect warmth for the office, and it's a good shirt.
I recently
redcowentertainment.com/store.
I recently released a shirt like an official bag trash shirt
I saw it.
People give a shit for it.
that
They're like, I want one made by Nina and Sharpie.
yeah, well, that was Chrissy being funny. But the yeah, it's kind of funny because that shirt was always intended to just be like, there is no official shirt. We just write bag trash on it. And then, you know, there was a fan who sent in that design that I went with, who found a font that looked an awful lot like what she did. And then I was like, well, I don't want to have to stock a bunch of these shirts again. So I used Cafe Press, which does them to order. Yeah. And I don't take any profit from it. I'm just selling them at cost, which is like $19. Yeah. So like if you really badly want a bag trash shirt, you can get one.
That's
But please don't order it to support us. It's only supporting Cafe Press.
yeah. Does it tell you how many people ordered it? Or
I don't think I have any insight into
You
it.
don't okay.
So if you did order one, let us know.
Send us a picture of you with it.
Yeah.
With it?
You with it.
Oh, yeah, I definitely have a cabinet like that. I have to stop stuffing things in it because I have so many. Although I stopped going to Cambridge because Cambridge you have to bring your own bags, and I want to pollute the earth.
Yes, me too, EJ. I don't want that on a crap.
Can I say though that like despite how badly these came out and how tiring the day was, I actually had a lot of fun this day.
Yes.
I had never baked before in my life, and so this was like a little introduction for me.
It was actually one of the most Christmassy days
Yeah.
I've ever had.
Yeah. It's definitely a good memory. And I have rewatched it lots of times, and I think even with the crap cinematography, it stands up.
It's always fun when I'm not here consuming this as the public. It is very interesting, and I had a lot of fun.
That's good. And I like that Angry Kirby showed up with his ratty Christmas sweater.
His Jewish sack.
So okay, yeah. So this is all shot chronologically. So the first thing, that first cookie segment was the first thing we shot.
No, it wasn't.
What was the first thing then?
It was this, I think.
No, we shot.
It was definitely not the cookies because
This definitely comes after filming the Jesus Mac because that's when I got sick and had to start doing audio because I couldn't really stand anymore.
This is before the Jesus Mac.
No, this is after because I was already sick.
No,
This is definitely after.
I was gonna tell the story of you getting sick because the first thing we shot was the cookies, and you were sick.
the cookies were. Oh wait, did we shoot just the making of the cookies?
Yes,
That's right.
We come back. There's a second segment.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Nina was starting like she was sitting the whole time during the cookies because she was not feeling awesome. We wanted to get her back for the second part and she couldn't, and that's why Zach stands in for the second.
That's why I'm decorating the
That's
tree
why he's
here.
decorating. Nina just sits there the whole time because she's not
No,
well.
I didn't feel great for the cookies, but I didn't get sick till you guys were making the Jesus Mac. And this is after the Jesus Mac. I come back and sit and do audio because I felt like crap.
No,
I had gone into the other room.
you're not. I'm sorry. Seriously.
You were wrong.
I'm definitely not.
You could check. You could check when the files were offloaded
Yeah, I mean, I could
onto
easily.
I would like you to do that.
I want to be right here.
What you're thinking of is, yeah, you were shooting the Jesus Mac stuff, and in the somewhat begrudgingly because you were not feeling great, but you hit a wall in the middle of shooting it and had to leave during the Jesus Mac segment. So Zach shoots the second half of the Jesus Mac segment. The point is, you were up and down the whole day, and that's why your major segment is just at the beginning, and then really you're not seen ever again.
I had one big crash, and then I never recovered. And here I am sitting there because I had already crashed in the other room.
Not true.
Yes.
No, not to be on a side, but I think you're wrong because once Nina crashed, Nina was down. You were down for a while.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff happened. Did we do wreaths? We did wreaths while.
Yes, she was unwell during wreaths.
Completely.
No, I did audio during wreaths. And
Yes.
Yeah, and
You weren't laying in the other
no,
room.
and camera. So I was able to stand and do camera for wreaths.
No, you didn't. During wreaths, it's all tripod. For a reason. Because you were unwell.
No, because I kept coming and grabbing pieces off the floor, so I was up.
I was
John
worried
would
we'd
throw
run out of
things
things
on
to
the
talk
floor.
about.
At least one segment in which you were completely laid through.
Yes.
Because I had to walk
I think you're
through the
confusing
house.
when you were well enough to like sit around versus when you were like not well enough to
I'm
even.
gonna need to see the data later.
Yeah. I'm telling you.
They laid up.
This was the very next thing we did after the cookies. Then we go back to finishing the cookies, which actually we shot much later on in the day.
Yeah.
We shot the second part of the cookies like after I did the roast.
Yeah, because
Yes.
or sort of during.
I
it.
think we did. Yeah, ended up doing mac and cheeses after this.
Yes, that's right.
And then we went
Bingo.
back.
Bingo.
Yeah, because
Then we did the
for
wreaths.
lunch time.
Then we did
And then we went back to cookies.
Well, then we did the roast.
meat. Yeah,
We did the roast.
Because the roast got into the oven, and then we cut back to baking the cookies. They were both baking at the same
That's
time,
correct.
and then the roast got done too early. And
It's why when I'm walking around looking at the roast,
And then
you
we
guys are in
eventually-
the kitchen making the cookies.
yeah,
So like
and then eventually, then we did the home style mac at some point.
that was the very last thing.
Yeah.
That was the very, very last thing because we ate. The
'Cause
last
the-
thing we did was eat it with the meat and
Yeah,
we were done.
I thought the last thing we did was the story.
No, we did the story right before we did the home style mac.
I
we,
think.
like, squeezed
Did we
it in.
record him doing the story thing while the mac was in the
Oven.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
That sounds right. It was like
Now you're changing.
it was like
about
it was squeezed in. Is my point. Look, just because
Look,
it's slightly.
things happened that day. We're not quite clear
Yeah,
on
but
the
way-
exact order.
The way Nina remembers it is that she was okay and then she crashed and she never returned.
Yes.
And that's not what
That's how I
happened.
remember.
It's not what happened.
Nina, you rallied in the second half.
You
I know.
did. You really did.
I got up to the brown rice pasta side and I rallied.
I do remember Nina being absent for a good while.
Yeah, it was basically.
But like the smell was even making her worse from.
She came back for wreaths, but we had to set up 2 tripods to do it. There was no primary camera for that. There's a wide and there was a. Sorry.
Not to pull us off this, but I just want to say we decorated this tree. After everyone left, I redecorated.
I was gonna say you redecorated it. I saw that at your party.
Because we did a crap job.
You did a crap job. I didn't like where we put some of the ornaments, so I redecorated it.
I remember like my feet hurt all day because we were just on our feet the whole day.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, opening things and doing things was
Probably if
hard.
we had cut out one segment, it would have been a lot kind of easier.
I don't know. It was a lot of work one way or another.
I think the cooking segments are hard. I think having 2 cooking episodes
Plus the cookies, plus
basically
the roast.
3 big cooking events, plus
Where you're standing the
4,
whole time.
Really, is the Jesus Mac, the home style, the cookies, and the roast. I mean, that's a lot of cooking.
I like that
That's
ornament.
that's a good ornament.
We ran a lot more footage on this, and I had to cut a lot of it out because his camera work just got wild.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is the best of it.
Oh wow.
This is the very best.
Yeah, and I know that one of the segments coming up when we make wreaths, you said a lot of good stuff had to hit the floor because we couldn't.
No, I'm going to say it for the 50th time. The wreaths were shot with tripods.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
You're right. I keep forgetting.
We also because we were gonna try to have somebody shoot it, and then we were
Yes.
just like, we'll just do 2 static tripod
Yeah.
shots. That way people can be there.
That way he can stop sucking. I think because
We'll do it live.
I didn't know how bad he was sucking until I was transferring footage. And I was like, ooh.
Oh shit.
That's what I get for asking somebody for free labor. I trash him on a commentary.
No, but because without him, we wouldn't have been able to do it. Right?
That's true. Well, or we would
It's a
have.
mean fruit bathroom compo though.
Yeah.
Nice bell.
Focus.
Hope no one minds everything being out of focus.
It's very easy on the eyes.
Close your eyes a little bit.
It's just like you've had too much eggnog.
Yeah, exactly. I
I-
definitely did.
the hat kept riding up on my head because I had too much hair.
Ah.
I had way too much hair at the
wild
time.
boy.
We never shot a segment in that room with a static a static wide before, and this is the first time we ever did that.
I
Yeah.
think it works out well.
I think actually the Wreath segment, wherever that is, that works.
Yes.
It works out really well for that.
Because it's just two jam
I think
tripods. The read segment's the best.
The problem was we had to have like the table and everything, and then it was like there was no place for anyone to actually stand.
Yeah.
too.
Right. That-
It was madness. The whole day was madness. I do love it though.
What are we gonna do this year? Mummers?
Yeah, I mean, no doubt.
We're
Fixing
gonna have to at least do something with Mummers, and hopefully try not to make it look too much like the KKK.
I'd be down for doing segment-based stuff again, but maybe like tone it down a little.
Yeah, well, I agree.
We'll take a trip to Newfoundland and crash
Ooh.
to our BoxMac friends as mummers.
Yeah, we'll go.
I would love to go.
I think that you guys should redo the whole Mummers video. It's time for an update on that. They've only got that one on the internet.
Yeah, that way it's at least in high res.
Yeah.
Who are we gonna get to play Grandma?
You.
Things have gone modern.
It was fun to like select, royalty-free Christmas music too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
'Cause I think it's relatively okay. So this is at nighttime, as you can see. This is much later in the day because it was in the fridge all day, and you don't know how bad it's about to get.
So happy.
Although we thought this was the big problem, and in fact,
It was that I didn't know that you were just supposed to let it rest
right.
outside for a bit.
So it would have been fine if
Yeah, and that was not the real problem.
I had fun.
Oh, that's good.
See, you just get past the out of focus because it's funny enough. I really don't care.
Oh.
And why a pumpkin?
Because he's given up.
It made way less cookies than it said it would.
Do one test cookie. So it just needed to get back up to room temp.
Well, that was one of the many problems.
What else you got?
The dough was not the right type because it melted and the cookies didn't stay.
Should we do a retake this year? Get this thing right
Yeah.
with EJ shooting.
I'm liking it more and more. I'm liking this idea of we do a nice narrative for Halloween and then a
I'm down with that.
segment for.
I still would like to shoot some kind of black
We could put
and
one
white
of the
thing.
segments in a
Yeah.
little.
Oh yeah, I could do
Little
a
short
skit.
film. Yeah. Look,
John
he's
is
pissed.
not
Now he's
happy.
pissed.
Yeah.
He's in his like.
I tried so hard to make this not shit. It came out shit.
Now he wants. Yeah, that's funny.
That's a good one.
The Cankle. There's the infamous Cankle.
Just like across the whole show, the amount of clips and cut-ins and
Yeah.
it's just exhausting. That looks all great.
Yeah, it looks awesome there.
Yeah.
I was still like really optimistic.
Look at that twinkle in his eye. He's like, "This is gonna be fine." And look,
I got
he
so many decorating
he came
so many, and because they sucked so much, we just kind of threw them all out.
I was thinking a fun holiday tradition is to release the previous year's holiday show, the commentary track for it
Yeah.
around the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you get it on the Blu-ray first.
Oh yeah.
Some people are like, "How come you don't make DVDs?" I would buy a DVD. I'm like, I can't fit all this content on DVDs. It looks worse.
Like also, it's like what the fuck? We're not gonna release it on a VHS. Get a fucking Blu-ray player.
Yeah, get on
They're
with
like
yourself.
$25. Go get one.
A lot of people didn't go to Blu-ray. They kind of they all bought DVD
They're like, no, I'm
players.
good. I'm good with the DVD.
Yeah, yeah. They're like, I'm not.
I was like, screw those, tapes, because I don't like to have to sit and rewind. DVD was it.
Yeah.
And we could have
Yeah.
stopped. But I like me a nice Blu-ray. Damn it. Rogue One on Blu-ray. Damn.
Is it good?
It's a beautiful thing.
But modern Blu-rays are so annoying
What do you?
to
What,
get them going.
it takes a
Put it
while.
in, and you have to wait through all this crap and shit. And
The crap and
Dicks and cock.
cocks and penises.
The commentary is unrated and does not reflect Red Cow's opinions.
Yeah. Okay.
some of the commentary does not reflect our opinions.
Like, it's not recorded by the people who own the company.
This is when things cookies were still not terrible.
I was having a good damn time.
Yeah.
I was having a great time right until they came out of the oven.
And you were bummed.
And I was just like,
Oh, no.
And John got super fucking bummed.
Look at those. Oh, it's good.
He's visibly upset
He's
again.
upset right now. I wish you could see.
He's
He's furrowing his brow.
Yeah, staring furrowed at the.
He's like reliving the memories.
the PTSD is triggered.
Oh, there were so many problems with the bloated cankles.
The bloated kegels.
The kegel was the best
yeah,
cookie
yeah.
to come out of that thing.
That thing is like our Christmas mascot now. Santa's bloated Christmas.
I decorated that to the crappiest of my decorating abilities would allow.
You know what? I actually ate a bunch of the cookies.
They were really good.
I thought they were totally tasty.
They were fine.
They just didn't look quite.
He's so defeated.
He's covered in powder.
Powders.
And then nobody wanted to decorate them because they were stupid.
So ugly.
We also needed to get on with the home style.
Taste it, okay.
Starting to lose our shit. He's got a unibrow.
I'm very amused by this.
Yeah, that's not a bad cookie. Just a little bit warped.
Oh.
I'm telling you, there we are.
You want to talk about Chrissy's art? Maybe she just like.
Oh yeah. Well, that's also a cool special feature on the Blu-ray, which you can see a time lapse of her drawing it. But she did it. She was supposed to do a poster for each part, but that was asking a lot because it takes many hours to draw something as awesome as she drew for us. But she also did for the Halloween show, which we didn't mention.
Oh, yeah.
She did an amazing poster for the Halloween show, but she also did one of where she sort of she drew the cankle and she drew the tree and she had sort of Mac Garland and John, with all of us as ornaments. It was really cool.
No. That was a good job, Chrissy.
Chrissy's a talent.
She's a very talented artist.
That's it. She's been working as an animator her whole adult life. I mean, in order to do that successfully, I don't know how we got into this position.
I don't know, but it's
Yeah,
cute.
I felt uncomfortable with it.
I know you did. I think that's probably why I persisted.
Yes.
Is this
Nevertheless, he persisted.
for the intro there, the snowflake? Is that like a YouTube?
Yeah.
Did you find a YouTube?
Or I think it might have been like an After Effects thing that I. Oh no!
John's mic dropped.
Just now?
I just it's
What do we do?
probably fairly recently.
Okay. Are we okay?
It's probably battery.
Should we stop the tape? Or what?
No, we're just gonna keep talking because otherwise I gotta sync it.
Alright, then Frankie doesn't want to deal with that crap.
So
Yeah,
what is
this end.
Okay, over here. Yeah, I got plenty.
What's there to say about?
Yeah, Jesus.
Oh well, it had. Well, we did this really awesome donation thing, where they participated in a cool food drive, basically.
Do we know how much it raised?
I think it was a couple $100. I know I ordered a bunch, and you ordered a bunch.
Your dad ordered a bunch.
Yeah, I was gonna order.
My dad actually did order some. I can't imagine
Okay,
he
you're
ever would
back
have
on,
eaten.
John.
All right.
It shouldn't have been too long without him.
No problem.
Yes, and I love the product too. I did end up buying a bunch, and I've doled it out kind of rarely to myself because I like it a lot, and it is very expensive. But
It's basically $5 a pack.
with what's the shipping?
more than that even.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think it was it's $20 for. No, I think we figured out that it's basically $5 for a standard amount of pasta.
Yes,
because
for
one
box
pack
worth
is
is-
$10, and that's like a dual.
Yeah, it's like a
20 ounce or
$5
something?
single B.
Yeah.
kind of, which is very expensive, but.
But you know what you're buying.
Yeah,
It's a novelty thing.
It's a novelty thing, and it's way better than the penis pasta.
We're gonna have her on I'll probably interview her at some point.
Yeah,
Oh,
that'd be
nice.
good.
Could be fun. I've spoken to her. She's she peddles this stuff at flea markets, and
Someday, Frankie, I'd like to make a Junt Mac.
And distribute it?
Red Cow Entertainment distributed Junt Mac.
I mean, I don't know what we could certainly ask her. Like, what would we have to do to make a BoxMac?
Yeah.
Because she must like outsource this or something.
Yeah, she does. And I looked up the company that she uses. But I don't know. It would just be kind of fun. There's no real point to it, but
I hope she didn't lose any money on the deal with us.
I hope so too.
But it's I mean, she donates some amount of proceeds to food drives anyway.
Yeah.
So this was cool. This was like a cool Christmassy thing to do.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I'm sure it at least made people more aware of the brand or the product.
It was very good mac and cheese too.
Yeah,
was.
it was like an awesome
Delicious.
shaped mac.
I see praised to Jesus on Instagram liking our stuff all the time.
Yes, they
Yeah.
follow us.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess some fan told her at a flea market, they're like, you got to contact these BoxMac guys.
Yeah, and we were sent some boxes originally, which is we had this for a little while.
We unboxed it.
We didn't really know exactly what to do with it.
And I was like, maybe Christmas.
Yeah, and it worked out great. It kind of served as the nice halfway point too.
He's wearing his hat backwards.
At what point did we decide that this was going to be 2? Did you decide it after the day?
No, I think I decided it pretty early on when I realized just how many segments there were.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, if they're all 10-minute segments, then there's 7.
Yep.
That's 70
Yeah, I
minutes.
remember you figuring that it was going to have to be 2 episodes, and that's when we were like, oh, well, we could do mac and cheeses, because we knew we were doing a homemade
Yes.
redo. And
Yep.
then we were like, oh, well, wouldn't mac and cheeses be perfect for that?
I actually remember being at the Indian restaurant with you guys when we decided that it was 2 episodes. I was like, well, it could be 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And you know, I thought it was a nice gift, a Christmas gift.
Yeah, the fans seem to really enjoy it.
We even gave them some Hanukkah content because, you know, a la Angry Kirby.
Yes.
Hanukkah Jew.
Look at him salting away. Oh, I just told the flea market story. Redundant.
No additional stories needed.
So Nina is shooting it at this stage,
Yeah.
and I probably couldn't tell you when she decides that she can't do it anymore. The point is, the poor girl was pregnant. She was impregnated in late September.
Sure.
Sure.
No, October. We knew in October.
Sure.
And then I was a little afraid to tell John because he was so anti-kid,
Well,
and I was afraid that he was gonna be like, undo.
Control Z.
what kind of friend would I be if I didn't support your big life decision?
Indeed. But nevertheless, I knew that you would have an opinion, and I was worried about that opinion. And you know, EJ had just had his baby,
Yes.
so yeah, this was like a, you know, I did have a.
I'm pretty sure I bail right after the pasta's done, because you were
Yeah.
offering me
was towards the end.
uncheesed noodles. You were like, do you want us to save you some uncheesed noodles? And I just looked at you like, I can't eat ever again. Go screw yourself.
Why do you hate me so much?
I don't. I was just very sick.
I had a cute idea.
Oh yeah.
Your baby, my baby, in some kind of red cow onesies. We take a Christmas picture of them called "Children of the Cow." Could be cute.
Could be cute.
Could be cute.
Could have a babby segment.
They could be in Christmas onesies, Christmas red cow onesies.
You can
Red-
see every
Red
year
Calf
we'll have them back
Entertainment.
again.
Well, my kid would be like 1, so you know. It'd have
True.
to be
It's a
pretty
little
big.
late for onesies, but we could do like a one-
Doozies.
Twosies.
That's clever. Here, he was fine here, but
We
this
made
was
him wear that terrible sweater.
the episode where he left a very long comment on
yes,
YouTube where he was like,
Yeah.
"You cut out my critical bit. Your bit was tired."
What's that from?
Abo the Hue Monkey. Your bit was tired.
I want like a best of.
I used that in the Slack channel.
Yes, you did.
It's tired.
We say it in our lives every now and then.
Very, very quotable movie.
Is there maybe any value in like doing something like this, a part 1 and part 2, and then charging for the second part?
Well, that was totally. Look, I don't want to like get shilly right here on the commentary. But my thought was this: taking just this as an example, you could totally release 2 Christmas episodes for free, one is the Cheez-Its and one is the home style, but all the other content, it's $3. If you want an hour and a half worth of like extraneous Christmas content, that would really help us. You wouldn't have to, if you subscribe to Patreon, you could get it for free automatically.
Yep.
I think that might be a good thing going forward because we're always going to give you stuff for free, but eventually we might have to start charging for some of it.
You're gonna help us a little.
The trouble with that, right, is so we get about how many views a week now? We get
2,000 normally.
That's pretty nice
per episode. Yeah.
Realistically, if we charge $3 an episode, we'd probably get 300, right? That would be really good. Which means that 1,700 people who could be seeing and enjoying the content won't, basically.
Yeah, but if it's non-core BoxMac content, if it's cookies and it's decorating and it's trees, to me, it's maybe the Instant Pot thing. It's like that's not. I don't feel like I gypped you.
No, it's not about.
I feel like
audience.
we're gonna give you something amazing for almost nothing.
It's about producing content that not many people will see.
Yeah, but
But people are also like kind of proud to purchase stuff from their creators. Like we make stuff for you for free all the time. They are like, oh, we can get a little bit more and also support you. There's a good feedback.
I have there's a podcast I listen to that does a Christmas pod every year, and I listen to them for free all year. I don't support them on Patreon or anything like that. But every year they sell a $5 Christmas pod. And it's sort of understood that like if ever any time of the year you wanted to support these guys, that's when you do it. Yeah. And it's almost a tradition for me. Where I'm like, ooh, the Christmas pod's up and I'm going to buy it. I always buy it every year. It's like a little treat for me.
Yep.
And, I could see us doing that with Halloween and Christmas. Like maybe...
Give it a try. We'll see how it goes.
It certainly would sell better than Blu-rays.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But that's some insider thought.
Yeah, we're having a Red Cow Entertainment meeting.
Yeah, business meeting.
Because we ran out of things to say about the Christmas content because it's basically an episode of BoxMac. The second one that we've had to do today.
We are on there talking about the Mac itself.
Yeah, and if you want to hear that, watch it with the commentary off.
Those are your plastic plates. Those are a little more expensive.
I can't find them anymore. Otherwise, I would because the paper ones we use now are crappy.
Yeah, they're very soggy.
But I had these from Ocean State Job Lot, and I cannot find them again. Not even Walmart has them.
Oh, so now it's definitely Zach with the camera because it's not in focus, but it's still.
I was gonna say nothing.
Nina did a pretty good job pulling focus.
No, she did.
Nina's good. Zach's good too, but he was probably just thrust into this.
Well, yeah,
I have to do the audio at the same time.
Nina, yeah, that's true actually.
Yeah,
and plus Nina was about ready to have the baby.
Yeah.
Any second now.
In the other room.
I still
In 2
love
months
the
from now.
scroll.
Yeah, I still love the credit scroll.
We're about to run out of time, so come join us in part 2 once you get there.
Even this is a pain in the ass, by the way, to pull stills and everything's hard. Everything's difficult.
There's Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah. Your parents cut you. I'm very glad to get to reuse this instrumental.
I hope it.
You should be proud of that. That's some good music.
I wish we could have used it more, but
We can do it again. We can get a Fiverr guy to try one more time. So it's not me
true.
singing. Boom.
there's a lot of clips, and
There's
this
the
is the
cankles.
same. How many credits actually are there? Like 10 credits?
Yeah, it's not much. And that's it. We'll see you in part 2.
Bye.
Oh yeah, wait. Support us on Patreon.
Thanks.
That's the Scholastic music.